Hey everybody, I'm here in episode 1 to talk about Lucifer. It just came to Netflix and I watched the first 10 episodes of it, and I was really reluctant to watch this. I've ignored it obviously for the first 4 seasons because I grew up in a cult, a Christian cult, very fundamentalist household, and honestly, any kind of religious talk just freaks me out a little bit. So I was worried that there would be too much religiosity in this show for me to enjoy the mystery component. And I don't know if you know this, but I am a sucker for any kind of mystery. And I've run out of every other mystery on television. I've watched over and over and over again. I've watched Burn Notice 15 times. I've watched Midsummer Murders until I memorized every single second of that show. I can go on and on. So I was excited when I realized that this was a series of murder mysteries that I hadn't seen yet. I like to put a little drama on and then get into my art groove. And the more episodes, the better, as far as I'm concerned. So I was hoping that this would capture my attention, and it did. I love Rachel Harris, partially because of The Hangover. I know she was a bitch in The Hangover, but I watched the behind-the-scenes commentary with all the Hangover staff, and I really liked the way she talked about planning her character out. Also, she always reminds me of Lisa Loeb, like just the way her face is framed, the glasses she chooses, like everything about her just kind of reminds me of Lisa Loeb. So I'm always happy to see her. I think she's a great comedian. Tom Ellis is, yeah, he's kind of yummy. I don't love that whole chiseled man with no hair thing that Hollywood's been on for the last 10 years. I do like men with a little bit of hair on their chests, or a lot of hair on their chests. Honestly, if you're matted, I'm kind of into it. I like bears. But no hair at all just creeps me out. It just does. And so the body shots of Tom Ellis aren't as gratifying for me. The other thing that I found about Lucifer so far, I'm only 10 episodes in, but I'm kind of thinking about just stopping at this point, is because it's so fucking heteronormative. Like, all of the women there are objects, really willing objects. And I know what you're saying is he's Lucifer, he can get women to do whatever he wants. But in theory, couldn't he get men to do whatever he wants? And in theory, if he was on this earth for 1,000 years, wouldn't he get bored with women at some point? I mean, even Angel and Spike fucked at least once, because they'd just done so many things that they were just like, all right, let's see, right? So I don't buy that he's as straight as he plays it. Also, I have been watching 10 episodes of this supposedly deviant being running people and getting them to do whatever their deepest desires are, and I haven't seen a single male-on-male kiss, and I haven't seen a single female-on-female kiss that wasn't for the male gaze. I'm guessing that there are a lot of male showrunners going on here, like I'm guessing that's what it is, but it is very vanilla. Also, I've known a lot of sluts in my time. Real sluts. People who have fucked like hundreds, thousands of people in their time. You know? And there's just a lot more variation in their lives than what I've seen on the Lucifer set. I mean, it's kind of your standard LA, like, quote-unquote sexy scene, but you don't see any he/she's, you don't see any trans people, you don't see any fat people, you don't see any gay people, like, unless those gay people are specifically being gay for the pleasure of Lucifer, in which case it's always girl on girl. And I don't know, it's just getting boring, you know? Like, the one thing that I really have been enjoying about all of the DC shows that have been coming out, all of the, not DC, sorry, all of the, I'm sorry, you guys. My cat Moose is freaking out right now, and he is running around and screaming, and I'm sure you can hear him. Yeah, one of the things that I've been really enjoying about, DC's Legends and The Flash is that not only do they have gay characters, but they have gay characters across every spectrum. It's not just women for the pleasure of men. It's women who genuinely like women and aren't interested in men and aren't going to let men watch them. And it's men who love men, and it's bisexual people who fall in love with whoever they want to, and they have a trans person. And if they can include all of that in their universe, I don't understand why Lucifer has to be so fucking heteronormative. Let me tell you, I have been around a lot of polyamory. I've been around a lot of sadomasochism. I know people who hang themselves from hooks from the ceiling and charge people to watch them pierce themselves. And I haven't seen any of that on Lucifer. It is one of the most vanilla portrayals of a devil that I have ever seen in my life. Even growing up in a cult, even growing up as a Christian, I would have expected better from a show called Lucifer. So that's my main problem with the show. It's kind of fucking with my underlying suspension of disbelief. If this guy's really the devil, wouldn't he be more imaginative than this? Wouldn't his sexuality have more degrees? Wouldn't his history be more storied? I know he's only been back in town for a little while, but he's been alive a long time, and I don't know. That's the other thing, is that the mythology of the show is really confusing. I don't really understand what his powers are or what their limitations are. As far as a superhero mythology, it's kind of just whatever they decided that day in the writer's room, as far as I can see. So if you like Tom Ellis, if you like a dark, handsome men who will take their tops off like they've got something to prove, and randomly enslave lovely, stereotypically pretty women around them to do things for them. Sure, yeah, that's the premise of this show. Go for it. The mysteries are pretty good. The cop aspect is pretty interesting. I just wish that it was less boring to watch Lucifer devil out. That's all. Honestly, the show reminds me a lot of Angel, but without Angel's good intentions. And between Lucifer's British accent and his English snobbiness, the show kind of has shades of Elementary, but without the introspection and layers and depth and, I don't know, kind of stark awfulness sometimes that Elementary has that keeps it interesting and keeps me coming back to it, even when I think some of the plot twists are stupid. Basically, Lucifer is heteronormative vanilla fluff with a cozy mystery center, which is totally cool if that's your thing, but just don't expect too much from it. My name is Elisa Starr. This is my podcast, My Favorite Boyfriend Television, and I will be reviewing Dead to Me next. If you liked this and you want to support me, you can go to my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/ALISASTARR. The extra R is for extra rock. I hope TV loves and comforts you the way it has always loved and comforted me. Happy watching!